Hello everybody, and welcome to my second video on my channel. Well, no, that sounds so wrong. Not my second video on my channel, my second video with my voice. Sorry, I do not script these because I'm just straight up too lazy to straight up be reading a script while I'm doing this. But either way, I guess I'll just kind of get to the topic. Today I will be drawing Donnie from Rise of the TMNT. And if you don't know what that is, or what that means, that's Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's probably currently my favorite show ever, next to Gravity Falls and The Owl House. And Donnie is my second favorite character. My first favorite character is Leo, which I feel like some of you who are subscribed to me may know from the fact that I draw Leo very often. I also draw Donnie sometimes, but I mostly draw Leo because Leo is absolutely my favorite turtle. But other than that, I love Donnie and his nerdiness and his quirkiness. And most of all, what I'm going to be talking about today, the awareness that is given to the character about how autism coded he is. Also, if anybody is turned off by the fact that I like Rise of the TMNT or that I am labeling Donnie as autism coded, just leave the video. I really don't feel like having people in the comments going, Rise of the TMNT sucks, or Donnie's just a nerd, he's not autism coded. Well, nobody cares about that kind of stuff. So if you would rather do that on a video that actually agrees with you, you can leave. But other than that, let's just get into the video. Now, this Donnie, in my opinion, is so much cooler in personality-wise than other Donnies. I mean, you could straight up say 2003 Donnie's cooler just because he's straight up the buffest of all the Donnies. But I'm not counting that. I also love 2012 Donnie, but sadly, I never really got into 2012. I'm not planning to. I've thought about it, but for now, it's not exactly the biggest thing on my mind. I did, watch season 1, though, and I like Donnie in that version, you know? I think his little gap tooth thing is adorable. And his voice actor really pulled off the Donnie character that is portrayed in that version really well. But this Donnie is so cool. He's beyond nerd. He's just, so expressive through his technology. And also, the tech he uses is so cool. He has, a little, drone robot son. It's confusing, named Sheldon. And he's amazing. And spoilers, of course, for the entire series. But then in season 2, he kind of is more oh, these mystic powers aren't so bad because they have mystic powers, they have magic powers in this. Where before he was more kind of closeted, crazy. He was, like I said, he was more closeted about the fact that he was really under pressure about the fact of actually using his mystic powers. He hadn't chose a mystic weapon in the first episode. At first, it's just introduced as just because he thinks it's stupid. But you really get more into Donnie's true feelings with the fact that he feels like he isn't good enough, necessarily not in the part where Leo feels like he isn't good enough because everybody else is better than him, where Donnie has that same kind of motive to not using his mystic powers, but it's more of the fact that Donnie is worried that he isn't good enough, that everybody else and him are talented, but if he actually uses mystic powers, then he's not the tech guy, and who is he without being the tech guy, right? And I may not have explained that the most perfect way, so don't get at me for that. But, I'm literally just ranting while sitting in my room, not even caring. But let's actually get into the whole aspect of how Donnie is autism coded. Now, Donnie has many signs, and one of the main ones is stimming. And if you don't know what autism stimming is, that is when somebody who is in a currently uncomfortable situation or an exciting situation, they tend to fidget with their hands or have different facial movements to show how they are feeling. And Donnie has that kind of thing in the funniest way, and I just love it so much. Like, in the purple jacket, Donnie has his little purple hoodie on, and he spins around in this, like, one of those little office chairs, and that's fun. And then in Todd Scouts, which is also in season 2, and this is for people who want to watch the show, season 1 is on Netflix, season 2 is on Paramount Plus. I had to briefly get a subscription for Paramount Plus and then undo it, because not like I was going to pay for that when I'm not only watching season 2 of Rise, right? But anyway, I'm getting totally off track, geez. But in the episode Todd Scouts, Donnie is left without his phone. And to people who aren't very oriented with that, they may think, oh, so he's just mad that he has to spend time outside, and he doesn't get to be on technology. Yes and no, because it's not the fact that Donnie hates being outdoors. Well, he does, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is, it's Donnie's attachment to his tech. His tech makes him feel better. It's what he's used to. It's what he's comfortable with. So when he doesn't have it, he tends to stim a lot, mainly by fidgeting his hands, which is, like I said, an example of how Donnie is autism coded. And then there's also the fact about Donnie being not as emotional as his brothers. And on the spectrum, there's many different things, but the two common sides are somebody who is not very emotional and somebody who's extremely emotional, somebody who doesn't work well in social crowds, and somebody who does. And Donnie has different moments with that, like how he has sensory issues. Like in the movie, yes, there's also a Rise movie, so yeah, I'm just telling you guys about the whole fandom, I guess. Not fandom, sorry, geez. I'm like out of it today. But the movie has, in the end, Raph is saving Donnie from the villain called the Krang, and Leo basically tells him to go and help Mikey and Donnie, who just like flew away because they were fighting mid-air. And Raph says something along the lines of, "Don't worry, Donnie, this isn't a hug, it's a rescue." And that is so sweet, because he was really caring about how Donnie isn't that like intimate with physical touch, and also how his sensory issues are shown again in the movie. They did so well in the movie with this. How he has to access the Krang ship, so he has to be touched by these like weird gooey tentacle things, and you can just see how he shivers, and I could feel how uncomfortable he was, because I also hate sensory issues. Like, I hear somebody scratch their fingernails on paper, gross. So I relate to Donnie so much. But Donnie is just a great representation of autism, and most of the fandom agrees with it. And another thing I also think Donnie can relate to is being asexual, or just aro ace in general. I'm not too familiar with it. But because this is really connected to how he doesn't process emotions that well. So people are like, okay, he doesn't seem like he would be conventionally attracted to anybody. Which, again, makes sense. I don't know if I used that word conventionally right. That's funny. I'm bad at words. Yay. But that was a whole rant, and that's just something that I love about Donnie in this version. He has such a new side to him, yet a familiar side to him for a lot of people out there who don't get amazing representation if you are autistic in shows. Like, there are some other good representations, like, let's just say, for a starter, Entrapta from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. But, again, Donnie is probably, in my opinion, one of the best ones I've seen. So, if you need someone to relate to, I would pick Donnie. I would pick this show. And just overall watch this show. I love this show. I'm obsessed with this show. And if you are bored and you need some funny kids show to get into, this is the show. and I will punch anybody who says this is a Teen Titans Go, because it is not. This show is amazing. It just focuses on humor in the first season, and then you get into lore in the second season. And then the movie is also not as funny as the series, but it's definitely a lot more angstier. So I recommend watching this series. Thanks for listening to my rant, and for the rest of the video, I'm probably just going to put on music, and then I'll have my little summary at the end. And I will also thank a little video I watched the other day, which actually put this idea into my mind to explain this, and I will be giving credit to this person for the ideas on how I explained how Donnie is autism coded, because I am horrible at spotting that stuff myself. So please enjoy the rest of the video. Now, I just want to quickly apologize if I did not correctly represent autism in this video. If I messed up on anything, please give me tips in the comments. I am just really horrible at explaining stuff, and I'm not too familiar with everything, but I really hope you all enjoyed the video. I will be linking, or at least mentioning, the other video in the description. And again, full credits to that person, because that is literally the only place that I could find real inspiration for how to explain Donnie's autism and overall how he is autistic. Oh, that was how he is autism coded. Well, he is autistic. That's what I believe in. So I guess that wasn't a mess up. So yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video more than the fourth video if you did see that one, because I really messed up in that video and I sounded so angsty in that video. I was like, oh, well, yeah, and then this happened, and like, you know. So I'm just glad that I have a lot more better energy in this video. And overall, I think it's just because don't get me wrong, I love Gravity Falls, but I also just love ROTTMNT so much. Like, so much. I love it. And please watch more of my videos, because I just recently got my first video with 1K, and I'm pretty sure it's at 2K now. So if you were to maybe subscribe, that would be amazing. And I hope you have a good day. Bye.